Hey everyone, it's Judy with Talk to Me Tuesday. It is Monday, November the 24th. Thanksgiving is just a couple of days away, and we're getting ready for that. I am still at work, but I will start my long weekend starting Wednesday. But I thought I'd take a moment and get a video together. So I have been doing a little bit of crafting. I have two quilts that I'm working on for a friend for Christmas presents. So I'm kind of on a time crunch, but I've made really good progress. The first one is a memory quilt based on I'm using a family member's clothes, and he was a big Yankees fan, and so I'm using his clothes, and I've incorporated Yankees into that quilt. So I figured first I would show y'all what I've designed. I've made several paper piece patterns. Um, so let me start with that. So this right here is the paper pattern that I made, which is, let's see if we can get that in the camera. So that is the logo, and then all of the little blocks. That, of course, that right there was a fabric that I purchased, but all of these blocks are different clothing pieces. And let's head back here so you can kind of see where I'm coming. So when I started designing, I noticed the majority of the clothes that they sent me was either grays or blues. And so I started using, so I kind of designed into a gray, blue, white patchwork. This intersection, I did use I have used a little bit of whites and solid grays just to kind of break it up a little bit. And then the outer edge is all the clothes. So I'm really pleased with it. So when I designed it on EQ8, I had a slightly different plan, all of it blocks, but when I designed it, I didn't realize how small of a square I was using. I ended up making the blocks just, I think I used 4-inch squares, 4.5-inch squares, and the original was going to be like 3.5-inch squares, and I felt like I was cutting the fabric up a little bit too small, so I edited it just a little bit. The second one that I'm working on, of course, is an Elvis quilt, and I really had fun designing this one. Some of y'all may recognize some of the patterns that I've created. This is one that I have made before, but it was just a small little 5x5 block, and I blew it up so that it would be a 15x15. So taking care of business, which I'm really pleased with. I finished it up yesterday, and this will go in the bottom corner. And then this design I did take inspiration from a couple of other ones that I saw online, but most of them, this right here wasn't quite as round, as smooth as I would have liked it to be. So I went ahead and I created my own. There is a slight glitter to it, not a lot, just a slight glitter to it. So microphone. So I'm really pleased with that. This was one of those patterns where I just kind of roughly did it to my liking, but when I actually printed it out, it was a little rough around the edges, but I wasn't planning on sharing it really, the pattern itself, because it did look very similar to several patterns out there. I just felt like I needed to make it more for me. So I'm not overly concerned about cleaning up the pattern any because I'm not planning on sharing it. So got that one done. Now this next one is the one that I was mostly excited about because it's going to be the centerpiece of the quilt. I originally made it probably 20, the actual pattern, I made it 20 by 15. But then I decided no, it needs to be really big and bold. So I ended up printing it out at 40 by 30. So a couple of slight little edits I need to make to the pattern, but I do plan on sharing this at some point. Um, so Anyway, here is the center section of the quilt, which, like I said, is 40 by 30. I am extremely pleased at how this one turned out. The one cool thing about this white fabric, I know it's just white, you really can't tell, but it's a white on white music notes. So you really have to kind of like look at it in just the right angle to see the music notes, but I kind of feel like it's a nice contrast. I do plan on at some point remaking this quilt in black and red versus white and red, but they really the family member that I'm making this for, I gave him several options on the colors, and they decided to go with the white and red instead of black and red. And I want one in the black and reds. So I'm really, really happy about that. If everything goes well, I will have that piece this weekend, and then I will get started on the quilting. I was originally really kind of hoping I could send it out to be quilted, but anyways, I'm running on a time crunch, and my quilting frame is put up, so I'm going to have to do some freehand quilting. I don't have time to do my hand quilting because I thought the memory quilt would be a really good one to do hand quilting on. Do a couple of practice runs on uh, a couple of maybe pillows or something, just to kind of find my rhythm again. And then I'm going to do some free motion quilting to get that done. So if everything goes well, I will have them done within the next couple of weeks. Like I said, I'm really, really pleased with what I've done. I'm really happy with the Elvis stuff. And I actually am quite pleased with I don't know enough about New York Yankees, but I'm actually quite pleased with how that pattern turned out. For paper piecing, I don't know. I'm quite proud of myself. It's been a while since I've done any like real sewing. Anyways, I hope everyone has an amazing Thanksgiving and a wonderful week, and I will update y'all when I on my next phase. So, anyways, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye. I also wanted to take a moment to introduce y'all to the English bulldog that we just adopted. We've had her for a little bit over a week, and she's 4 years old. She's she's been such a blessing to the house. She has fit right in. She's taken up with the kids. She's been such a blessing to the house over the last week, and it's like she's always been there.